It's Armin and Levac on the team.
Giants offensive lineman Geoff Schwartz, thanks to McLean's Food Service, joining us now. And Schwartzy, welcome to the regular season where we get after it. Can you, in your own words, tell us what happened with the mismanagement from your perspective? What happened with the mismanagement of the clock in the final few minutes of the Sunday Night Football game?
I think a lot has been spoken about it already by the people that were involved. My job and our job as offensive linemen at any point of the game, doesn't matter what it is to go out and execute, make our blocks, and in the end, we didn't score. I mean, that's on all of us. So it's disappointing the way it ended. It's frustrating for us. I know how frustrated our fans are, and trust me, we still are just as frustrated as you guys are.
Schwartz, was anything said in the huddle to slow it down, burn some clock?
Well, when you get into the 4-minute situation, that's what it's called at the end of the game. When you're up with about 4 minutes left and you're just trying to run the clock out, it's always said on the sidelines or maybe in the first huddle before you get going, that yes, let's take as much time as we can to get the clock down, and hopefully you get 2 or 3 first downs and the game ends. We practice the sort of 4-minute type situation a lot in training camp, and we do talk about it during the week as far as what we're going to run, what we expect Dallas to run, and then we go from there.
Is it Eli Manning? Is it his primary responsibility to keep an eye on the clock, or you as an offensive lineman, are you aware of the clock situation at all, or you just rely on your quarterback?
That's a good question. I think we're aware as offensive linemen as far as there's X amount of time left on the clock. As a guard, I don't really look at the play clock exactly. So maybe the center looks at it a little bit. But I think a lot of that comes down to the quarterback, the coaches, to look at that. Obviously I'm in my stance. I can't tell someone to snap the ball. So it's hard for me to see that. It really kind of falls out of the range of our responsibilities.
When something like this happens, and it's a gaffe, and Eli said it's his fault, he didn't know how many timeouts there was. Does it at all, ruffle your faith in Eli?
Oh, not at all. And the timeout thing, even on the field, I think we thought that they had called the timeout, and then we declined the penalty. And I think we all thought that they were still charged with a timeout because that's a unique situation where the clock doesn't run, and we thought the clock would be running, so we were kind of a little bit confused as well. But yeah, the faith in Eli, it doesn't waver. Come on, this guy is one of the best quarterbacks. He's won 2 Super Bowls. He played well up to that point. Everyone, has their moments, and I know that it's not even a question for us at all. It's not about Eli.
Geoff Schwartz, Giants offensive lineman with Armin and Levac. Thanks to McLean Food Service. He joins us every Tuesday at 5:15 throughout the entire regular season. And for the record, we're very thankful of that, Schwartzy, for you spending your off day with us. And that's why I don't want to come across too critical in these situations. But I know you hear it from the fans. And, I got to ask you, how does that happen to where you guys don't know how many timeouts? How is it never clarified from anyone on a headset, from a coach to Eli Manning? How does that communication not get across?
I don't know. At one point I actually asked the umpire, why is the clock not running? Because I have thought the clock should be running as well. I don't know. I wish I had an answer for you. I guess I wasn't communicated well enough. But like I said, that's not, it's kind of out of my control or what I think about during a game. It's not really on my mind very much. We get the play call and we go ahead and try to execute our assignment, and that's kind of where my responsibility is. So it's tough for me to say who should or shouldn't know the timeout situation.
You're an NFL veteran. Have you ever been in that situation before with clock mismanagement or timeout, unaware of the number of timeouts at the end of the game?
I'm sure it's happened before. I've been in games we've had clock issues. I can't tell you exactly a time, but I've played 8 years now. It's my 8th year, so I assume that it's happened at some point or another, and we've overcome it and we've moved past it. And just like we have this week, Dallas is over now, and we got to get ready for Atlanta. They played well last night, and there'll be a test for us on Sunday.
All right, Geoff. So sadly, I have to continue to beat this dead horse. I'm sorry. I apologize. But I was just guys like the Jets. Your roommates at MetLife. They have a guy whose job is to watch the clock and know what kind of situations. There's nobody like that in the Giants organization.
Honestly, I have no idea.
All right.
I don't know. There could be. I don't know. I know, obviously I know my position coach, the OC, I know, Coach Coughlin, and I know the rest of the staff, but I don't know if that's anyone's responsibility. I don't know if we have someone special for that. I really have no idea.
Giants offensive line.
But mind you, I don't know in other places I've been whether we've had someone for that either. So I really don't know.
Giants offensive lineman Geoff Schwartz with Armin and Levac. Did you hear Eli tell Rashad Jennings to lay down?
Honestly, I don't remember at the end of the game. I was really excited when Odell caught that ball at the end. I thought we were close to wrapping that game up, and I was just excited to get these plays run and hopefully get the ball in the end zone and be done with the game. Offensively, we struggled a little bit. We didn't score in the red zone as well as we should have. So I was just happy that we were in a situation to maybe go up 10 and win the game. Big win in week 1 on the road, division opponent. It would have been big for us.
All right, Schwartz. Let's move on. All right, I'm sorry. Let's move on. Armin and I are arguing over this. I look at this game, and there was a lot of talk. The air quote experts thought Dallas had too much talent for you guys and would have worked you. So the fact that I know you lost, and there's no such thing as a moral victory, but you lost because of mistakes you made, things that you can fix in-house, not because you're not athletic, not because you don't have the guys. You lost because of things you did and you can fix. Do you take a positive away from that, knowing that you're just as good as the Cowboys? It's just the clock management thing fell on your face?
I can see that. I think you're right. there are no moral victories, especially in the regular season, but I think that we realize that, yeah, we're talented. We can play with guys. We can play with who some people predict to win the division. We can move the ball. We can create turnovers. We can score on defense. These things that maybe we hadn't done so well in the preseason or didn't do so well last year. So there are positives to take from the game, even though we didn't win. But in the end, we have to win, and that's what it comes down to. And we need to get back into the win column this weekend. First, it'd be nice to win at home in our first home game.
Geoff Schwartz, Giants offensive lineman with Armin and Levac. Thanks to McLean Food Service. And Schwartz, you've told us you felt this group was the closest you've ever played with in your NFL career. And I'm going to be honest, and I'm not just telling you this because I'm sucking up. I've said this all week. You guys played well on Sunday. What letter grade do you give the offensive line against the Cowboys?
I think we had a B. We ran the ball efficiently. There were times where we could have done better. Obviously, I think pass pro was pretty good. I allowed the sack. Obviously, that's not very good, but that happens, and didn't happen again. And for being on the road and being in his first game, I thought Eric Flowers played well and Pugh played well. I think we're kind of coming together as an offensive line. We really haven't played that much as an entire game. This preseason where I was out or Weston was out for a game, or we always rotating in and out. So it was nice to kind of get us, all 5 of us playing in the game, the regular season game against the division opponent. I really think at the end of the game, it was good for us to drive that ball down. We had 13 plays, 79 yards. That's an impressive drive. And like I said, in a 4-minute type situation where you're just trying to, kill time essentially. A score is always nice in that situation, but the goal is to get the clock down as low as possible.
Yeah, you guys, like Armin said, I thought the offensive line played really well, but now word is out that Eric Flowers injured his ankle or his foot in some way. Is he going to play Sunday?
I think so. He injured his ankle, I believe, in the second quarter and played the rest of the game. So typically when that happens, guys are able to come back next week and play. If a guy gets injured, has to be carted off or limping off and never came back, then it's very possible that they don't play the next week. But I don't know. I haven't talked to him today. I'll see him tomorrow morning. But I assume that he will be ready to play.
Giants offensive lineman Geoff Schwartz with Armin and Levac. If he doesn't, and I know it's an if, but if he doesn't, Pugh hypothetically goes to left tackle, Jerry goes to left guard. How much does that shuffling affect you guys?
Anytime you move guys, out of their normal positions or spots they've played, obviously it might affect us. But I know Pugh has played left tackle a little bit in the preseason. He played left tackle in college. John Jerry is solid. We know what we're going to get from John. He's a great pro. So obviously, it's not ideal. But I really doubt that Flowers will be out this week.
Schwartz,
I'm wrong. I don't know. I mean, I don't. Could be wrong. I don't know. That's just kind of the way I think things have worked. Is if you finish the game, typically you will play next week.
Schwartz, you said you watched the Falcons-Eagles game last night. Were you impressed by the Falcons or disappointed by the Eagles?
I also watched one quarter because we didn't land until 7:30 a.m. from Dallas. We had a 3-hour delay. So I didn't walk into my place until 8:30 in the morning yesterday. So I slept a couple hours, had to go in the facility, and I went to bed last night about 7:45. So like in that quarter I watched, I was kind of half asleep. So I will start watching film tonight on the Falcons, and I'll kind of get a sense of how they played. It's always interesting when you watch teams play the Eagles because, the Eagles' offense is so different than what a lot of other teams run. So it's sometimes tough to get a read on how they're going to play us.
I forgot you guys had a plane malfunction. Did you just sit on the plane for like 3.5 hours? How did that work?
Yeah, so we got, after the game, obviously, we fly out right after the game. The game was over at, what was it? Probably midnight Eastern. We got on the bus. We drive over to the airport. I think we got to the airport about 1:15 Central Time. You get on the airplane. Then about like 2:15, you're like, we haven't left yet. What's going on? They went on the PA and said, hey, we have a malfunction in the door. We're going to take an hour to fix this. So then they fed us our dinner then instead of waiting until we get up in the air. And then we took off about an hour after that. So we took off about around 4:15 Eastern.
Oh, that's miserable.
And a lot of us don't sleep well on the plane. I slept maybe an hour 15 minutes at the bottom of the airplane. And a lot of us end up watching a whole movie before we even took off. And it makes the loss even worse when you're just sitting there. I've never had a situation where I landed and it was like sunny outside. It was crazy.
That's miserable, man. What a crappy ending to that crappy game. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
That sucks.
I mean, it's not your fault. It's just a rough couple hours. But they took care of us on the plane. We had good food and we had my teammates and we had movies and stuff like that. So it wasn't the worst situation. We were able to take off and we were safe.
Geoff Schwartz, Giants offensive lineman with Armin and Levac. Thanks to McLean Food Service. Hey, Schwartz, we've already heard you say it a couple times today. Let's be frank. Hopefully you don't have to say it many more this season, but the whole aspect of, we're past this game. We're not thinking about this game. We're not concentrating on this game. How much of that is crap from the perspective this was a heartbreaker, man. This was not your normal loss. National television coming that close. How is it? It can't be easy just to get past that game, Geoff.
It's easy if no one brings it up. I know in our facility no one's going to bring it up. We're playing the Falcons this week. That's kind of the way it works. People continue to bring it up outside the facility or ask us questions about it, then obviously it still lingers. But as far as, my teammates, as far as the coaching staff, as far as our entire building, everyone is ready and will be ready for Atlanta this weekend. And, the way you get, a bad taste out of your mouth is just coming to work. Practice tomorrow, get after it, get after the Falcons game plan, and then all of a sudden, you forgot about it. That's the only way to do it. You play 15 games. If you play long enough, you understand that that's the way it works. And you have to be, you have to be a pro to be good in this league. You have to be able to put stuff behind you, and that's what we're going to have to do. And I have faith that we'll be able to do it.
Yeah, I think it's good to be able to put those things behind you. So we're not going to ask you any more tough questions. Hey, JPP, word is. Yeah, word is that there's more damage to that hand, and
you went from that to JPP. That's not tougher.
I just didn't want to ask you about the game anymore.
Yeah, we're trying to move on.
No.
Just any thoughts on what's going on with him now that the reports are he's back home and the Giants hope to see him again in 5 to 6 weeks?
I mean, I've told you guys this before. I love to get him back as soon as possible. I know we'll welcome him back. He's a great talent, and I hope he's rehabbing. His rehab's going well, and when we get him back, we'll get him back.
I've been reading that when you have a club on the hand, that players play with that all the time. The report today, the breaking news, is that the tip of his thumb was missing. His middle finger had gotten operated on. Of course, he doesn't have a right index finger. Is it as simple as wrapping that up and he's going to be okay?
I mean, I had never played with a club before, but guys do it all the time. Yeah. I think it's a matter of if he's in shape, how strong he is. I think that's more of a concern than playing with a club. I think just being in shape and being able to make it through a game, the club hand should be fine. I mean, it's hard for me to say. I don't know. I've never played with a club. I don't really know. You know what I mean?
Schwartz, I gotta let you know this. Earlier in the show, when we found out about the additional damage, my first thought was I wanted to be in the room with Reese and Coughlin and everybody right after JPP left, just to see the reaction of it was worse than we thought. Oh, is that wrong with me?
No. I mean, that would have been an interesting conversation. I don't know what the team expected. I mean, I think that everyone kind of assumed that it might have been worse. But I don't really know. I mean, that's why it was good he came in and met our doctors, and they can have a plan of attack now going forward.
Geoff Schwartz, Giants offensive lineman with Armin and Levac every week at this time. Thanks to McLean Food Service. How you doing, buddy? How's life?
Yeah.
How's the family?
I just saw that Facebook is adding a dislike button. How about that?
Ooh, I like that.
That's some big news from you.
That is some big news. I break news on this show.
Hell yeah, you do.
I'm good, man. I was glad to play and make it through healthy and get back on the field. I mean, I went through a lot to get myself ready to go. So, I mean, I'm happy about that and just ready to play the home opener this week. That's about it.
How does everything feel now? How you went through a full game. Now, how is the foot?
I think it was fine. It's sore a little bit. Not really. You know what? It's not that bad. It's kind of how I thought it would be. But I mean, I'm pretty good. I feel like I played a game. I mean, there's a certain way your body feels after a game, and that's the way it feels. I feel like I played a game, so that's good.
Geoff Schwartz is on Facebook, and in a related story, you can now dislike his posts. That's pretty impressive.
Not that you ever will.
Oh, by the way, I think that thing we talk about every week might be done.
Your website?
Yeah, close.
Wait, it's done now?
Close. He said close.
Close. Yeah, I think I have to just okay it, but I've been busy this week.
Well, hang on, though. I'm looking at one right now. Is this the final JeoffSchwartz.com?
Oh, is it up already? Yeah, maybe it is, but I don't think it's. Is it up?
It's got it's got a slideshow of your family.
Oh, maybe that's it then. Yeah.
It's got. It's actually pretty impressive, to be honest with you. I mean, of course, it took 14 years, so that makes sense. It should be impressive, but
nice cat.
It looks pretty good.
You're a cat guy, right?
I have a cat that's similar to yours, actually.
Maine Coon?
Yeah. Yep.
This interview has just gotten a lot better.
Yeah, this is what you really enjoy talking about.
You probably didn't talk about your favorite team today, huh?
Oh, what we talk about what do you think of Adam Jones ripping off Amari Cooper's helmet and smashing his head into it?
I saw the clip. I watched the Vine once. I really don't know what happened. It was hard to see. He hit his head with what?
He pulled his helmet off and then picked up Amari Cooper and smashed his head down on the helmet.
You walked into that one, Schwartzy.
He'll get a fine for that.
But only
How does
a fine.
He not get suspended?
He wasn't ejected or suspended.
Well, the ejection thing, I think the ref has to actually see it to be ejected. I mean, you can't retroactively eject the guy.
There was 3 of them right there, man. I'm telling you, this is weird.
You got to see that. Yeah,
this is weird.
I don't know. I mean, the suspension thing, I don't know. I mean, I haven't really watched enough. But normally that gets handed down later in the week. I don't think it's handed down now.
Well, they said that all the reports are that the NFL's not going to suspend him. They're going to fine him heavily. But, I mean, it's not like you had anything else to do Sunday. Why didn't you see this up close? Come on.
I didn't even watch my brother's game. I took a nap instead. I mean, I watched the first half and took a nap. It was nice. Nice little nap.
I feel like your brother's team might have taken a nap.
We'll talk about that.
Schwartz's brother is the starting offensive lineman for the Cleveland Browns.
He looked good. The line was in trouble.
Yeah, the offensive line is very solid. He played well. I'm proud of him. He played. It's his contract year, so I hope he plays.
They didn't know that they were going to have. They didn't know they were have Lord Lilliput behind him, the 5 foot tall quarterback.
He threw that touchdown pass though.
Yeah, but he had to sidearm it.
I didn't watch the second half, so I don't really know what happened. I mean, I know
this is all because you brought up the Raiders, by the way.
Yeah, I know. You walked right into all this. Geoff Schwartz, thanks to McLean Food Service. Schwartzy will do it again next week. At Geoff Schwartz on Instagram, Twitter. And ladies and gentlemen, we have GeoffSchwartz.com, and it's pretty beautiful. Quote, I'm involved in this website. My goal is to make this website as interactive as possible. I will be posting weekly blogs and videos, sharing my thoughts on sports, food, family, and life. I will continue to do ticket giveaways and other memorabilia contests through this website. I hope y'all enjoy. Signed, Geoff Schwartz. Look at that.
I love it.
Look at me.
Look at you. Complete sentences. Woo! Love you, baby. We'll do it again next week. Good luck against the Falcons, man. Go kick some ass.
All right. Take care, guys.
All right. Talk to you next Tuesday.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
See you.